All right, Jeff, as the athletic director here at Oakfield-Alabama, to see the amount of success that your teams have had this season, how much pride do you take in that? You see these athletes grow from a young age, and to see what they've accomplished on the grand stage, just how special is that to you?
It's incredible. And you hit it on the head. Watching these kids, I've been watching these kids since they were in 3rd, 4th grade, whether it's playing Little League baseball or youth basketball or whatever it was. And to see the maturation process, throughout those years and the bonds that are formed and it all kind of coming together this year for these kids, remarkable. And I said it earlier to somebody that success breeds success. And once we got into the, had that success in the fall and the winter, we got to spring. And I think we as coaches knew we had the potential to have some good seasons. And then, it kind of started off with the golf and tennis team on that Thursday night winning a title. And then, the rest of the sports didn't want to be the one that kind of, dropped the ball a little bit. So, it was our turn on Saturday and our track Friday night, and our turn on Saturday with softball. And then, Coach Anderson and the baseball guys brought it home on Tuesday. So it was really great to see. We as coaches were texting each other all the time, trying to find out how we were doing in games because we were playing a lot of the same days with rainouts. So just great, and great for our kids, to be a part of that, to have that experience in high school, especially after the stuff they went through with COVID and missing out a season. And the community support was incredible. I mean, they were, out and the fire truck parades and all that was fantastic for them, and just a great, great year.
Mike, you were on the bench for the basketball title as an assistant coach. You were head coach of the baseball team. What made this year's crop of male athletes here at OA so special to win so many championships that they did?
Well, I'm a little biased. When I first came to Oakfield 6 years ago, this was the first group that I ever met. So they will always have a special place in my heart. But to watch these kids grow up from when they were in 7th grade all the way up to when they were seniors, the work that they put in is second to none. And, as Mr. Schlag said, success breeds success. And these kids, once they got that taste of success, they were bought in right from the get-go. Whether football, basketball, baseball, track, golf, tennis, everything rolled over into everything. And these kids, you just can't say enough about their work ethic. They are the ones that are texting coaches, hey, can we get in the gym? Hey, can we get in the weight room? Hey, can we take a couple extra cuts? They're the ones who want to put in the time, the work, the effort, and they make our lives as coaches a lot easier, where we want to do everything we can for the kids, and the kids want to give everything back to us. So to see that all the way through, being on the bench for the back-to-back sectional title for basketball, seeing the kids in football, and then bringing it home in baseball, and especially with all the stuff with Jeff and softball, it's been a remarkable year, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, it's very special. I mean, to win many sectional titles like we did, playing with the same guys over and over, you build a bond with each other. I mean, not many kids win one sectional title. To win like multiple the same year is pretty special.
I think we took a lot of stuff personal. When we got to Victor, Lyons was in the other locker room, laughing, having a good time, thinking they were going to win states before us, and it didn't happen. We took a lot of stuff personal that year, or when we played basketball last, and I think that's what drove us to be successful.
I mean, it was great. We knew Lyons was going to be a tough team to beat no matter who was going to play that night, and as soon as we got on that bus, all 14 or how many guys we had on that bus, they were ready to go, and we got to Victor, and everyone was just set. No one was talking. Everyone just wanted to play. And when we stepped on that floor, everyone was just ready. And we were ready to go. And even with the fans there, the fans came to the game. And it was packed, and it was just great.
During those tough moments that you had and those really significant moments throughout the season, what do you think, if you could point to one thing, really carried you through those moments?
It was definitely the Wheatland-Chi game after coming off a loss to a really good Wheatland team. When we all sat in that locker room, we knew that we didn't want to lose again all year. And the captains, we all talked, and we all took the blame for it because we've been taking it too easy on everyone. Everyone said, let's go, we're going to pick it up in practice, the intensity is going to be better. And we just worked hard from the rest of the year on out, and we got what we wanted.
Felt great. After 4 straight years of losing in the finals, we finally got one. One of the greatest seasons we had in a while.
Now take us into that championship match. What do you think pushed you through in that moment and allowed you to take home the championship?
The drive. We had a great team going. We all wanted it. We wanted it so bad. We had some young guys step up, help us out. We just wanted that championship, and we got it.
Now, losing in the finals for 4 straight seasons, what did it take within you guys to push through that mental hurdle, and knowing that you fell short so many times before, and getting over that hurdle and that mental barrier and coming away with the championship? What do you think was the most significant element of your title run?
I think losing in the finals every year just puts a sour feeling on like the off season, so you come back the next season even more ready to go with more motivation to not end the season in the finals the same way as the last year. From now on, we're going to be known as the sectional winners next season, so there's going to be a target on our back. Other teams are going to want us to take us down, but we're just going to have to play harder and hit better shots from now on.
How much did that mean to them to be the only girls program as a softball team to win the sectional title and to cap off what was a great year with a girls championship?
Yeah, it was big for them. You know, that was certainly something they talked about, you know, in the dugout and at practices. You know, once they really came to realize they had a really good shot at doing it, you know, seeing all the boys, you know, be successful, and, you know, brothers and boyfriends and friends they grew up with seeing that success, they wanted a taste of it for themselves. There was no doubt about that. And you know, once we got to that sectional final, they were pretty determined that they wanted a little piece of it for themselves, for sure. Not that they felt like they were getting slighted, but felt that, hey, we're going to make our mark as well, and they certainly went out and played that way.
First softball championship since 2011. What do you think was the key to your girls' success this year? What made it all come together, and what made this year's team special enough to take home the championship?
Well, I think that we've all been playing together since we were really little. I mean, even when we were in 6th grade, we took a bunch of tournament titles. So just growing up in a good program and all of the support that we got, like, we really were able to come together, and we just never stopped playing, and we all have a great relationship off the field. So that just really carried on to the field, and that just helped.
Now, being the only girls program in the school to take home the championship, you see all the boys programs have the success, but to cap your athletic season off in the spring with that softball championship, what did it mean to be the only girls program to win the title here at OA? Was it kind of a sense of pride and bragging rights for you girls?
Yeah, most definitely. It was definitely a sense of pride, and it was awesome too because we're all seniors, so to end our senior year off with a sectional title was awesome.
Does that bond that you girls develop over the course of seasons before the softball season, does that help you girls throughout the course of the spring, and just knowing each other and how to vibe off each other? Does that help, that continuity that you build throughout the season to bring it all together in the spring and win that championship? How does that continuity serve you in that regard?
I think playing together all year really helps us because we build a sense of trust and we get to know each other very well. So we're able to trust each other on the courts and on the field and wherever else we play together.
What were some of the struggles that you girls had to endure this season and make it through on your way to the championship? Are there some points during the season that you remember that were significant, that really stand out in terms of, we got through this and this really pushed us forward to the championship?
Losing against the Alexander team the first time, we really just wanted to keep pushing through because we were like, we have to do this, like, we can do this. And then the championship game was against Pembroke, and we were like, we've done this 2 times, so we can do it a 3rd time. And we ended up crushing them.
How much more pride do you take out of a championship knowing what you had to go through?
I think it made it 10 times better than it would have been if we would have had like a undefeated season, because we did have those ups and downs and those struggles that we did have to go through and those bumpy roads that helped us a lot when it came to the championship game, because then we knew what to see and expect more rather than just thinking, oh, it's an automatic win.
Well, we knew that we needed to start off strong and we needed to put some runs on the board right away so that they would be kind of scared and know that we were coming at them. And then we are just a strong group of girls. We have a very tight bond with each other, and we just push each other and support each other and cheer each other on.
I would say that this championship is most memorable, not only because it was with this group of people, but it was because it was how we ended off our senior year. And to be such a close rival like Pembroke, it was very special.
Honestly, I think it came full circle for us because we won the Avon championship game in Little League, 6th grade, and then we hit it off with a bang our senior year and just finished it.
What was that moment like this year with this group of girls, your daughter on the team, her final sports season? What were the emotions like when you finally realized we did it, we won the championship?
Yeah, there was a ton. You know, the last time we won a softball title was 2011. Dan Gilbert was coaching the team then. Dan passed away, 5 years ago, and his daughter was our starting pitcher. She was great. So I thought about him a lot that week, and having Kelsey obviously out there as my daughter, and watching these kids that I literally, they brought it up a lot. There was a tournament that they played in Avon when I think they were 10 years old. They referenced that a lot during our sectional run, and they remembered it, really well. And to see that progression, yeah, the emotions were flowing for sure. And it was, bittersweet. You're thrilled for them, but realize those 4 seniors that have been through a lot together. That was going to be their last game, but to go out on top, it was big. It was big for them, and I know it means a lot to them.
We just touched on some of that emotion, and I'm sure it ramped up a little bit for you during the baseball season. You're an emotional guy. That's an easy takeaway when you watch someone like you coach, but during the baseball season, to win that championship on the field that you played on in high school, your father who passed away recently, a longtime Calmum supporter, great man, and he's got a plaque on that field if I'm not mistaken. And to win that championship on that field, what were the emotions that you felt? Like you said, a special group of guys to be there with you in that moment. Just what did you feel flowing through you?
Leading up to the game, and I heard you ask the baseball guys a couple questions about how, you lost to Notre Dame twice during the year. You're right. I'm one of those wear my emotions on my sleeve kind of persons, and I'm always trying to be into the game, and it's easy to be animated, easy to be involved, but I know that these kids, they feed off of that energy in my mind. So I know if I stay positive, if I keep bringing the energy, then they will too. So to try to maintain that energy all the way through sectionals, all the way through the finals game, it was tough. Like you said, there's a lot of stuff that was going through my mind when we were playing the game. Obviously Dad was, he's a huge person in my life, and he still is, even though he's not here today. Like you said, there's the plaque there for him, and I had a couple people come up to me before the game and said, you got Dad on your side, but the maroon and white that used to run through my veins has now turned to blue and gold, and just seeing these kids and seeing all that they accomplished throughout the year, even when it was 1-1, going into the 3rd inning, I think it was, I had no hesitation, no sort of concern, stuff like that. These kids have been locked in ever since we lost to Notre Dame the 2nd time. So just, as much as, we all have our own reasons, we all have our own mindset going into it. I know Dad is always there with me, but the moments that I will remember the most is everybody jumping the fence to celebrate with the boys in right field, just the mosh pit, and what I really hang my hat on is all these kids' smiling faces coming back to me, as I'm just so ecstatic for the fact that they brought this home for themselves. And I can't say enough about these kids. It's amazing.
Well, come sectional time, we started playing our best baseball, and after we lost to them the 2nd time, we came back with big wins against Akron, and then opening sectional was very strong. So I think we were all confident going into the game, and we knew we had it in us to beat them, but we were mentally there, we were physically there. It was just all good timing, and the boys came together when it mattered.
What was that moment like, knowing that you had to get over those 2 losses and against a league rival in the championship game? Does it get any better than that?
No, it doesn't get better than that. Obviously, sectional championship with a rival like that, we were super excited. We knew we had to come out and play our best baseball, and at that point in the season, it was all about, sectionals, who's hot and who's not, and, we were playing our best baseball this season at that time. And I think we peaked at the right time. We came out strong, and we did our thing that we knew we were going to have to do all season, and we got the job done.
We feed off the energy that the 2 communities gave. Alba coming out supporting us too. We were just one family, and it really helped us out a lot this year.
So we need to stay hungry. There's no way we need to be complacent right now. Like I said about Campo, we never want to feel that again. And after feeling what we went through this year, yeah, we had a very successful run, but coming up short to Portville was something that we shouldn't have lost to. And I think next year we know that we have so many core guys coming back that it's our year. I'll be a senior, KP will be a senior. It's one last go. We need to give it everything we have, and I think that we're all looking forward to that already, even though the season just ended.
The OA track program has just been incredible, to the success that it's found over the years. And how critical has Coach Bueller been to your guys' success, and his leadership and his voice, a loud one at that, always cheering you guys on. Just how much does that help you guys throughout the course of the season and in those championship moments?
Oh, it's crazy. He pushes us so hard. Like, we have kids coming to the track on the weekends, and he'll unlock the locker room so we can get an extra workout in. He'll set up the hurdles all the way around the track so we can get an extra hurdle workout in. He'll send us plans over the summer for track, to what to run and how to be successful.
And it takes like the past years, like knowing that we could win 4 in a row this year, like having that thought in your head always pushes you to become better as a runner. And even when times get tough and practices may get boring sometimes, you always think about that, and it lifts up your spirits knowing that we can go get another one.
In most sports, you're on the court or on the field and everyone's cheering you on, but in track, you're not participating in every event, so sometimes you're the cheerleader. How different was that for you, and can you just take us through maybe a little bit of a mindset change in that regard from sport to sport?
Yeah, I mean, in track, there's a lot less intensity. I mean, you're not going at another guy. But, I mean, supporting your teammates and them supporting you is big when it comes down to the wire.
It's awesome. These late night meets, they go all day. We're never in the tent, though. We're always on the track cheering each other on. And, yeah, even at 1 a.m. in the morning, we got kids running the 4x4, and the whole team is on the track cheering them on because we know that we can't win without them.
And winning never gets old. Winning another block for our school, it's amazing. Like, the community comes out and supports us, and it's just adding them all up. Like 8 in 1 year is pretty impressive, I would say.
What made this team special? You joined forces with Elba. You came over from 8-man last year, and you won a championship this year. What made this group special that you were able to take home the title?
I mean, all of us were very hungry right from the start. I mean, 2 schools, some people don't think it's going to work, but we all came together right away, worked hard, and we had the goal in mind, and that's what we achieved.
Now, Bodie, take us into that championship game. I was there with you guys throughout your run, and just the community support. We touched on it with the baseball guys a second ago, but just to see all the people in the stands, and I'm sure some of those people you hadn't seen in years just didn't even have kids on the team. What does that mean as an athlete to have so much community support like you guys have had in Oakfield-Alabama this year?
I heard that was probably the most people that was at Vendetta Stadium since the time that it opened. And, you know, that always helped us throughout the year, the amount of people that would come out and support us, from the students at here and at Alba, and obviously all the parents and other people in the community that would come out, even if they aren't related to they don't have a relation to the team, whatever, or whatsoever. You know, they came out and they cheered us on, and they really, they traveled well too. We went down to Jamestown to play Randolph. There was still a whole lot of people there. We went to Syracuse to play Tioga. There were still bodies there. And, you know, that's impressive to see that we had such a big following that helped us push through some of the tougher games and to really keep us going when we needed it the most.
Winning that first block, it was crazy. Like, we weren't supposed to win. We were doubted the whole year. We weren't supposed to win that game. And then I think we all realized that, like, we're the real deal, and we can keep doing this in basketball, baseball, track, indoor track, all 8 of them. And it was just, it was one heck of a ride.
We just wanted to set the bar high for these younger guys so they know what they have to keep doing to achieve the sectional championships and hopefully keep going on farther than we did. And as long as they just keep working hard, they're going to achieve that pretty easily.
You have so much coaching support here at Oakfield-Alabama too. Obviously, their input is huge in team success year in and year out. To have the leadership that you guys have here at OA, the veteran leadership, you have coaches returning year after year in these programs. How much does that mean to your success to have the continuity at the head of the snake there?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big factor in our success this year. I mean, all these coaches put all their hard work into us. They believe in us. And I mean, it's important when we have our basketball coaches coming to our baseball, track meets, football games, just to support us.
In 2009, when I was in high school, and it's funny I bring this up because one of my first interview questions, Jeff asked if I wanted to go see the sectional baseball trophy. My team didn't win in 2009 when Oakfield beat us in the finals in baseball. But I've always known Oakfield to be a successful athletics program type of school. You know, it starts with admin and it leads all the way down to Jeff, and and all the coaches we have here, you know, and you asked a couple of questions that I think is so key, is that all the coaches keep coming back. It's not a revolving door, and everybody works together. You know, we're a close-knit group. We're all friends. We all talk to each other outside of school. But to come in 6 years ago, not being involved, just kind of off the cuff, you know, oh, I know they're good, you know, see how really good they are. The programs here, they're something special. And it really starts with the kids. There are special groups of kids going through here. You know, even when I started 6 years ago, girls basketball was always competitive, boys basketball was really competitive, baseball, softball. You know, you can go through the list of all the programs we have, and they were all very, very competitive, always being successful. You know, once, it was almost like a domino effect. Once one won, then everything started to lead up, and it all comes back to the kids. It's such a great group, and the coaches we have here, you know, I know I'm part of the coaching staff, but without the kids, without the coaches, it's a close-knit group that, as Jeff said, success breeds success. And now that these kids have tasted it, now that the coaches have tasted it, and we've had this fantastic run, really looking forward to keeping it going.
Is this a golden age of Hornets athletics in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, I've had that question asked me a few times from, you know, people I've seen, and you know, has there ever been, you know, more? There's never been more, you know, 8 in a season. And I said, you know, we've combined with Elba with the golf program and won that, and indoor and track and outdoor track and football. But to win 8 in a year, you know, we had some years where we won 2 or 3, and you know, and one of the kids said it earlier, you win 1, and that's great. And you know, I was a high school player, won 2 in baseball, and you know, that's great. And to see, you know, 8 in 1 calendar year. And again, across different types of sports, you know, tennis was the first time in a lot of years, and softball was 10, and baseball was, you know, about 10 years. So, you know, for some of these to get back to where we were, you know, track, Pete's done a great job. They're always there, and it really built, you know, in my opinion, and I know I'm biased, the best small school track team in Section 5. And, you know, the football team obviously has had great success. So in a calendar year to win 8 is unbelievable. You know, I think I remember one year we had, I think, 7 league titles in the year, and I remember thinking, man, that's really great. But to win 8 sectional championships is unheard of in most places. And yeah, you know, a lot of coaches have touched on it. It starts with the kids and their work ethic. You know, them willing to pay the extra price, not just coming to practice every day, but the weight room sessions and the stuff they do in the off seasons to build. And not wanting to be that group that doesn't win one. And I think now that you've seen some sports, you know, win multiples, you know, 2-3 years in a row now, like that really fuels that next generation of kids coming up. And I know a lot of the kids talked about it, about the group coming up. Well, they've learned what it takes to be successful, and I think the legacy that these kids will have, not just going to be in sectional championships, but the work ethic that's required to be successful, not just academically or athletically, but academically. A lot of the kids, you know, that are on these teams are scholar athletes, and they get after it in the classroom too. And I think that's just a great testament to the kids we have, the parents that support us, and you know, our building in general, our admin and our faculty who really support everything we try to do.